warm welcome to everyone, and I hope you're all doing well. I would like to begin by a very simple question. What kind of education would genuinely prepare young people to be able to adjust to this world that's changing at an unprecedented level? This unprecedented change is primarily because of the technology revolution. This change is not simply, what we require students to do is not simply adjust, but to thrive in this technology revolution and also to be able to shape it. At the Jindal School of Government and Public Policy, we believe that this requires rethinking how we teach, what we place emphasis on, and the kind of ethical and intellectual capacities that we cultivate. The school was built on the understanding that public policy, economics, governance, and society cannot be taught in neat silos. Real-world problems don't present themselves in these silos. For example, if we take inequality, inequality is not just an economic issue. Neither is climate change an environmental issue. And poverty is not just the lack of resources. What we need to understand is that these problems overlap, and any meaningful attempt to address them should be able to reflect that complexity. Our approach at JSGP is that we follow three broad principles. We encourage students to think critically and independently. We train them to engage very rigorously with evidence, and we ensure that academic learning is grounded in real-world experience. Most importantly, a value that we hold to heart is humility, because genuine learning often requires us to acknowledge what we don't know and also question what we do know. This philosophy is reflected in our economics undergraduate programs. We offer both a BA Honours and a B.Sc Honours in economics. The differentiation is subtle, but it actually makes a world's difference in the way students are able to shape their experience from this program. The B.Sc pathway is more suited for students who have a slightly more quantitative bent. Students who enjoy economic modeling, enjoy working with data and more technical data analytics tools will enjoy this track. The BA Honours pathway is more broad-based. But if you look fundamentally, what is the core difference between these two programs? It's just a difference of two courses. But these two courses, which is an additional course in math and an additional course in econometrics, significantly reshapes the way and significantly changes the way in which they take electives. So it's a subtle but a very critical difference. But at its core, despite these differences, all students, both the B.Sc and BA Honours students, are trained in core coursework in economic theory, econometrics, and data analytics. Both programs force students and encourage students to think critically about how the economy works and, more importantly, about ways to improve it. Student life at JSGP is not just limited to academics. Students participate in a variety of curricular and co-curricular activities which are often led by them and supported actively by the school and the university. Now, why these activities are important is because they help critically shape students' ability to work in teams, builds leadership capacities, builds professional networks, and more important than anything, it helps build lasting friendships. A classic example of this is the Jindal Policy Conclave, which is an annual student-led initiative at the School of Government and Public Policy. This brings out the best in students, and the way they collaborate is phenomenal. And the quality of this event and the thought leaders that they bring from the fields of economics, public policy, politics, I think there is no parallel. And the learning that comes from these activities far transcends what happens in classes. And I think this is the real training that an undergraduate program should be able to impart to students. Not just engage in class and in academics and curricular activities, but be able to really engage with thought leaders not just as students, but as aware, critical thinking individuals. There are no dearth of opportunities for students who are so rigorously trained. What connects all of these pathways is a shared orientation, an ability to think critically, a keen commitment to evidence, sensitivity to real-world complexity, and a sense of responsibility for public interest. This is what really binds this program together.